Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone has had a better day or a good night's sleep. Right now, I am getting ready for my day. It's been a tough couple weeks for me, and that nothing that I haven't caused myself, anyways. Today, I'd like to. I haven't done one of these videos in a long time. I've been quite busy with other things, but in the last 2 months, some big changes have happened with the parole system. We have passed the Less is More Act, a parole reform bill to allow fairness, to allow people to earn time credits, bolstering due process, adding speedy hearings, and a lot of other things to note. This is very important to all of our communities because you shouldn't go to jail for just sneezing or succumbing to a disease of addiction or a disease of mental illness. I worked very, very hard this week amongst not only me. Let me say I am like just bearing in the wheel. But as you know, every bearing matters. I'm very thankful and grateful for Governor Kathy Hochul for passing this bill, the Parole Reform Act. It's going to allow people to get off parole quicker. It's going to allow the parole officers to actually have more resources for people that are having, problems in life rather than, sending them to jail. They may have some more resources. Seeing that they'll have an extra $680 million they won't be using to send people to jail. I'd like to raise or try to raise some money for my organization, the Cattell Center for Health, Equity, and Justice. They were a major backing in this bill. If it wasn't for them, none of this would be even probably possible. It's very important that these bills get passed. I don't think there's been one bill in the last, say, 40 years that have been like anywhere near close to this. Most of the other things have been just to further, persecute us and put us back into the jail cell, which is helpful to nobody. So when Kathy Hochul hired Brian Benjamin on, the creator of the Less is More Act, and she finally signed that bill, it was amazing. There was an applause everywhere. We owe great thanks to my organization, the Cattell Center. They bent over backwards, spent very many hours to get this thing going and working smoothly. But the change doesn't stop here. We got to figure out ways to make more resources open to people that indeed need help. There's one naysayer, and they're huge in New York State. They're the Public Employee Federation or something, PEF. They're the parole officers union. Now, PEF is a huge union all across New York State. They have been throwing press conferences from here to New York City, trying very hardly to rescind, get this bill unpassed. Hopefully with no luck. Most of the problem is all of this is fear driven. They pick out 1 or 2 cases out of a million, say, hey, this is why you shouldn't pass this bill. This is why it's dangerous. They pump fear into the public, so they're so scared. They don't want to make these changes happen. But they're not winning. So I think they should just sit back, work on hiring more parole officers, because more people are coming home, like it or not. They should get over themselves. They're just a union. They're not a law enforcement agency. They've got no business in this arena, especially when real lives are at stake. When you get laid on a curfew and you can do 2 years, that is incredible. That costs the state over $70,000 for a guy late 15 minutes on his curfew, or missing a parole meeting, or succumbing to the disease of addiction. Because, if punishment worked for addiction and mental health, there wouldn't be no addicts or mentally ill people in the world. It'd be all gone. Punishment would have eradicated all of that. But guess what? It hasn't. So let's try something new, right? Something different. And that's what I've been really, really trying hard with a bunch of other people. I hate to use I should we, because it took a lot of brave people to sit down and have these meetings, worrying about retaliation from the parole department. So I think we should all give a round of applause for Cattell Center, because they made this possible. And not only them, a little piece of light, Adjust New York City, the Fortune Foundation. These are organizations that are really, really working super hard to make sure people have a fair chance and fair opportunities on our streets, man. Our communities are going to be safer now with this bill. No one should be locked up on when, especially during COVID-19. There's been already a number of deaths of parolees, people that have finished their time already, that had to go in for a parole violation to catch COVID and to never make it back home. And that's the saddest way to pass away, in a jail cell with a bunch of people that don't know or care about you. So I work hard for that. So I'm really thankful for the Cattell Center. If I can raise some money for them, I'm going to try to do that. If you can put $1 in, 50 cents, none of this money comes to me. All of this money, ask Facebook, look through the the fine print. None of this money will ever touch my hands or anybody else's except the Cattell Center's. If you can just give up $1, if you're on parole, $1 is nothing compared to the torture we used to go through in this old system. Now back to the bill. Now this bill is due to be fully in effect March 1st, 2022. People will have a maximum of 2 years retroactive. So if they've done 2 years, they'll earn 2 years. So if they got a 4-year parole bid, they're pretty much over and done with by March 1st, 2022. Please, if I'm mistaken, let me know. But it's important that we keep pushing ahead because the work isn't done now. We saved $680 million, and now we need to open up more resources. More group counselings? No. Better housing? Yes. Better psychiatric care? Yes. So right now I'm trying to raise some money for the Cattell Center for Health Equity and Justice. Like I said, if you could just put $1 in, 5, 10, anything you can afford. And like I said, none of this money comes to me at all. This money goes straight to them. It's very important that we keep these people going. This organization is the backbone of reform. This organization right now is trying to shut down Rikers Island, a horrible place to put people. People that are mistreated, often killed by the guards, not even by inmates. Not to say that that isn't happening. It may be. But for a parole violator to go in there for a late curfew and not make it home back to his family, that's sad too. Another thing is imagine getting all established in life, getting all the stuff you need. You got your house, your furniture. You're late on curfew. You lose everything. And that's not only a major loss to the person, but it's also a major loss to the community, because once they have to re-enter the community, guess who picks up the bill? Department of Social Services does. So how many times are they going to pick up the bill before the system finally breaks? I've been really trying to advocate the best I can for change here. It's a we thing. I didn't do shit. We did a lot. But I'd like to personally thank the Cattell Center and all the organizations with it that have been helping us get this bill passed. Thank you.